Good morning, everybody. I know many of you have asked yourselves, how does Coronabone Frank, which is what I'm calling myself, how does Coronabone Frank maintain practicing in the desperate times? I know I was flipping through the TV channels. I know it's desperate times. Of the desperate times we are now living through. Well, you also might ask yourself, why does he always wear the gray shirt that he has on most of the videos? Well, I mean, it's a Carhartt, and I'm old, and I'm into the Carhartt groove. And that you have your own fashion sort of priorities. I do too. The other thing is, this is forcing me to do some things today that I maybe not altogether would not normally do. And there was nothing else to do. Nothing good was on Motor Trend. So I'm going to do this for you guys because I care. I'm going to start with the warm-ups, which are on the website, except I'm going a little bit faster and I'll do a little bit more of them. Setting my Matrix metronome to 80 beats a minute. And what I will do is do what I should do. I just put my mouthpiece, which right now is a 1.5 S Stork bass trombone mouthpiece. It's a little bit of the smaller one of my two that I use. And I put it underneath the sink and put it on my face, warm water, hot water, to loosen up the 55 some odd years of scar tissue, which, believe it or not, does help. Yes, this is a bottle cleaned out of lemon scented bathroom deodorant. You might notice that every time I play a scale, I'm increasing the metronome speed 4 miles per hour. And sometimes you might notice I'm moving my arms around. It's because I got a couple of lousy rotators, and holding it up for a while sort of hurts. And if you notice every once in a while something doesn't sound right, that's why I don't enable the comments section of this channel. And you may be asking yourself, why does he stop and talk so much? Well, that's because that's what I do in between as I'm warming up, take a minute, and since there's nobody to talk to, I don't talk to people. Since I'm talking to a virtual you, it's a lot easier. And I have to warm up because 45 years ago, my trombone teacher in college said, you're never going to play when you're 60 because you're going to have nothing but scar tissue because you press so much. You might notice I got a red lip. Well, I'm 64 and I'm still playing, so you know who you are if you're watching, which you probably aren't watching because you just don't care. So if you are, though, on the off chance, some of you may also ask, what do you use Coronabone Frank for your slide for lubrication of it? Well, I'm glad you sort of asked. I'm sort of old school on this. I had one of my old students who got me on Slide-O-Mix for about 5-6 years, and parts of it I liked, parts of it I didn't. I cleaned the horn. I put Slide-O-Mix, the silicone little bitty bottle, and probably use more than I should on it. And then I put the slide on one at a time and work it in, then do the other slide one at a time. And then I'll put 3 or 4 dabs of Pond's cold cream, green cold cream. Do not get the blue stuff. Don't get the blue cold cream. And I put a little bit of smear on 3 or 4 spots, and I wipe it off with my hand, which is how Coronabone Frank always keeps his hands so supple and smooth. And then I spray it with my reconditioned Myers Clean Day aromatherapeutic household product. And for me, this I like it. I like the smell of the Pond's cold cream, and I love puppies and kittens too. All right. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip. May not work for you. If it doesn't, well, then you're a mutant and you're not subject to the laws of human physiology. As I'm going faster with the 16th note parts of the scales, and I get up to the top, and I've played for a while, it gets a little bit harder to keep the speed going on the third 16th note run. I move my tongue up a teeny bit up, and it gives me just a little bit more speed and a little less movement, I think. And that's something I've discovered while I've done warm-ups like this for, I don't know, probably like the last 5-6 years. Didn't used to warm up as much as I do now, but the reason I do is because due to the generosity of God giving me a lip that I can let this last as long as it has, and my wife for understanding that I'm not buying a Lamborghini, I'm buying a trombone, honey. This is a Shire basic bass trombone, double trigger, because I don't play too much above Fs anymore, which is a long, boring story. If any of you know me, you've already said, oh, geez, he's already told me that. I don't need to know this. But, yeah. So now I'm at 100, which is my fastest speed that I do this at. If I was playing Finlandia and things like that, and I had to get a faster tonguing speed going for that, I would probably spend about a month or so at least gradually cranking this up a little bit higher. But since I don't, I won't, and I can't, and you can't make me. Moving the tongue up a little bit, it gets me up to about 108, 112 now for single tongue sixteenths. I used to do 3 groups of sixteenths, but I found that by the end of the warm up, that my tongue was going no mas, no mas. So I only do 2 groups, and because I'm just basically nowadays playing for myself, that I don't really feel the need for endurance on that. If I do find that I do, I will. All right. So now that you're saying to yourself, myself, Coronabone Frank, what do you do next? Well, right now I'm working on putting together a garage band quartet of myself with Canzone Personale, #1, La Spiritata, yes, Tata, by Giovanni Gabrielli, arranged by James Claggs or Clagges or Claggies or whatever you feel like. Looks like this. And I've been trying last couple of days to do the garage band 4th trombone. I've got the rhythm track on, and it's set at 60 for the quarter notes on this thing. That's what they recommend. And strangely enough, when it goes into the 3/2 section, which is thankfully short, they also retain 60 beats a minute with a dotted half note. So if I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4 for quarters, I'm also thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the 3/2 part. So if you hear any clams on this, you know what to do with them. All right. Yeah, that's a still, it's still a B natural. Yeah. All right. If I was making a recording of that, I would have gone all the way through it till the end and botched it up and been really mad and said very bad words. So, but you're right there. Don't know whether you're children or not. Don't care. But you're not going to learn them from me. Go find your grandfather or your father in a bad mood and learn them the right way. All right. So now, next thing I'm going to do just for fun, and the other three parts I'll do, the 3, 4, the 3, 2, and the 1, as I get the fourth part recorded and I'm happy with it. So, next thing I do is sometimes, and this all changes. I've got some Gabrielle, I've got some Corelli, I've got spaghetti, I got whatever. This is one of the things I'll do, which is the bass trombone part from Achieved as a Glorious Work for the orchestral arrangement of it, the real arrangement of it. And I don't really, the last time I did this was in Middlebury with their orchestra and chorus, maybe 3 years ago. And depending on what the group is, you may go fast, you may go slow. It's from the creation. If I was in real bad shape, I would start this thing probably about 80 and then crank it up every time I do it. But now this is slow, definitely, because this is not Vivace. In fact, my metronome sort of shudders when I play at the speed. But I'm not doing it for a performance at this point at all. So this is what I'll do with it. I can do high G's about the first third that I play, but I don't slur to those anymore. Once again, the tragic tooth story. Okay. So I will put that away. And what sort of repetitive, mind-numbing thing does Frank do next? Oh, Coronabone Frank do next. I have an arrangement I got online of Carry On My Wayward Son. Did it with about a 5 or 6 piece trombone group about 5 years ago now for convocation, and found it online. And it's actually a pretty decent arrangement. I had two of the other music teachers in the district play guitar and drum set. And the part in here that for me always gives me the hardest part is the part that I'm going to practice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bore you for a few minutes. I am going to play it with a 4-measure spread, and I'm going to go up 4 metronome marks every time I do it, up a little bit faster until I reach whatever my limit is. I haven't played this in about, I don't know, 2 months, but it's more interesting than listening to me play something out of Arbenz. So, and this is the trombone 4-part. Trombone 4-part on this is not, down in the dumps like a lot of the new bass trombone stuff is. I have my own theory of bass trombones who play above an F are, have some sort of stunted medulla oblongata sort of thing going on. They have to play high because they must. And I say, no. So anyway, this is what the 4th trombone part is on this. That's 112. If I go much faster than that, I'm going to embarrass myself, and I'd rather do that in person because I'd work it faster if I had to for some reason, but I don't. All right. Oh, what do I want to end with? Oh, well, during the time of Corona, about 25 years ago, somebody I was playing with had a book of the Duke duos, duets, and trios for trombone. It's all Frenchy. And they had one in of the first movement of the concerto for two violins by Bach. And so I've been playing, I played that for a long time, 1 and 2 parts. And I got to the point where the one part for me is like I would have to go all Roger Clemens, pop the pills, to be able to have the musculature to do that anymore, or even the willpower to want to do it anymore. Because that was tended to be somewhat of a damaging exercise for me. I've never been a real high trombone player. I was able to get up there for quite a while, longer than I thought I would. But it's kind of long. So I got a little bored at the beginning of Corona and was putzing around with MuseScore, and I did an arrangement for 4 trombones for the concerto. Took it off of a one of the. I mean, took the piano reduction for the other 2 parts on the violin, and it was in the same key as the trombone arrangement, the other one that I'd had. So I just took sort of made some choices and a little bit of fudging here and there, and did the 3 and 4 part off of the piano reduction. So anyway, this is, oh heck. I'll play the beginning of, and because I did this for bass trombone, I don't play above a G. As I've said before, a lot of people think that the holy grail of trombone, a bass trombone, is being able to play down to -4G B flats and up to the high register that a normal small bore trombone would do. And I'm not sure where that came from. I mean, I know the movement for larger and larger trombones is something that's been happening for the last 75 years. But I don't need to play above a high G a lot. And I can do it when I have to. And this thing, the hard thing for me is not playing it so much, it's playing all 3 pages of it. So anyway, this is the 2 part. Okay, so I'm just going to do the beginning of it. I'm setting this to 80. In a performance, which I've tried several times to put together with some students of mine, I probably would want to get up to about 95 to 100, depending on what's going on and what the tonguing speed of everybody involved is. But this is the beginning of the trombone 2 part. Yeah. Like I said, no harm, no foul when there's no comment section. This is a little piece of the trombone 4 part from the beginning. This is sort of the figured bass line, I guess, of what the piano reduction was. And so on and so forth. What I did instead of going da 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 da, all the time with these is about out of the maybe 10 times it I've got that figure in this trombone 3 and trombone 4 part da 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 because this is a secondary part and it may be an octave difference with the 1 or 2 part. I go dum da da dum da da dum da 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 da, just so I have a place to take a breath and hopefully recover just a smidgen of blood supply back to my lip and my tongue. So anyway, this is sort of what I do. I might play something out of the Arbans. Some of the old chestnuts for tonguing. Excuse me, not Corona, it's just old man phlegm. I might do some slurring in the pieces that I play, but I don't warm up a lot with slurs. I don't feel the need to do 2-octave or 3-octave lip slurs. I know somebody who used to do that, loved to do that. They did it with a euphonium, where they'd sit there before the rehearsal of a group and go da, 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 for like a minute or so. And I went up to them at one point, because this is sort of what I do. And I said, well, show me a piece of music that has you doing a 3-octave lip slur. And they couldn't. And so, if I had had a hot dog, I would have given it to them. But anyway, this is what I do. This is what Corona Frank does to play during the day, during Corona time. If I'm lucky, I'll get 4 or 5 times in a week, at least 4. If I'm not lucky because I'm on the road camping or something, I don't. Because nobody wants to hear a beautiful, I love you, bass trombone in a campground. So have a lovely day. And if you enjoyed this, good. If you didn't enjoy it, I don't care. See ya.